Hi, I'm Havilah Malone,
I'm Regina Carver.
and you are listening to or tuning into ReThink Uncut. ReThink Uncut, where we question life from different points of view. Regina and I have been friends for, I don't know, it's almost a year, a little over a year.
Yeah, it'll be a year, November.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, we've been friends since November. We met at an NLP, which is Neuro Linguistic Programming, the Master Practitioner course over in California. And we just totally, we connected. I don't know, it's like those energetic forces just like brought us together. And, we kind of stayed in contact. Well, really, Regina was the one that reached out. I'm like horrible at doing that kind of stuff. And we, started, communicating with each other and, just found to be similarly minded and were about growth and trying to, not only hone our skills with the NLP stuff that we had learned, which really helps you to look at life differently and to take situations that have happened in life and be able to come at it from a more empowering perspective so that you can, live an empowered life and live your, like Oprah says, live your best life. So,
And we would have these amazing conversations, and they were so enlightening.
Mm-hmm.
And Havilah, it was you that said, wow, we could tape these. If someone could hear some of our conversations, wow, it could be helpful.
Yeah.
Not just to us,
Mm-hmm.
but just the things we would talk about from a different point of view, from a fresh point of
open, like uncut, just vulnerable conversations, like the things that people think about but then don't want to say. Like those are the kind of conversations we would be having, about everything from relationships to family to spirituality to, food to, health and fitness and just all kind of stuff. But just being able to delve a little bit deeper and to be able to uncover your real feelings or your real thoughts or the questions that you had about it that you didn't want people to know that you had questions about, and it was like, I felt so comfortable with Regina because she's going to tell you a little bit about herself and her background. Like she is absolutely amazing. And it was just kind of like, if people could hear, if people could be a fly on the wall to these conversations, heck, I would want to record them just so I could hear them again and from, just the interaction and the advice and the little jewels that would just come out as we would discuss things. So we're like, you know what, let's record this. So we decided to, open our conversations up to you. And if you find that they're of value to you, then fantastic. Comment below and let us know what you think. If you have questions or things that you want to know more about, we are not saying that we have all of the answers.
By no means do we have the answers, but I think it will be a fresh point of view and will in turn help you to think different or think about things that maybe you hadn't thought about, and to help you see things different and live life fully.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess it'll give you a little bit of background, about us, because as we, I guess, take this journey together and have these conversations, give you a little bit of context about, each of us. And so again, my name is Havilah Malone. I'm actually a New Orleans native, more specifically Kenner, which is where the airport is. Currently a motivational speaker and a #1 best-selling author. Go get your copy of How to Become a Publicity Magnet. I was formerly a host and spokesperson on like the Home Shopping Network and QVC for many, many years, and, worked a lot in television behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. And I guess what I'm doing now, and one of the things I'm most proud of, is the work that I do with my nonprofit organization called Everybody Loves Barbie, Living Beyond the Box, which is a self-empowerment movement to be able to help men, women, and youth to be able to break the silence of molestation molestation and abuse, so they can take their power back and live life on their own terms. So I'm all about, just growth and progress and, being able to live fully and be you in every meaning and aspect of, what that means for you. So just a little bit about me, and actually you can get more information at havilahmalone.com. That's HAVILAHMALONE. And I'm going to let Miss Regina Carver a little bit about herself.
My name is Regina Carver, and I actually retired and started a new life. I started a new life thinking, who am I and what am I going to do now? So one thing that kept coming up is that I absolutely love helping people and getting them to really move forward and just see where life will take them and have these goals and really act upon them, which brings me to the book I wrote since then too. And this is it, how will I achieve my goals? Because what I learned is that people have goals, but sometimes don't know what to do after setting the goal. So that my book has just come out.
Go get your copy.
Yes, please do. It's on Amazon.com, and it hasn't even been out a week, actually. So I believe it will really be helpful. That was one of my goals, and I used the steps in the book, actually, to write the book. So I'm really looking forward to helping people in that respect. And I also became a certified Martha Beck life coach. And I'm just loving that because it's what I actually love to do, is just help people where they are and for them to see the possibilities and for them to know that they have what they need. Sometimes we have to uncover that, but you have what you need.
Amen to that.
And I'm just so thankful that I get to do that now, that I can live a life that I just love, and I use it to help others because I'm passionate about that. And those types of things really drove our conversations, Havilah.
Absolutely, because you are so insightful and intuitive, and it's kind of like you are able to look at a situation and give a perspective on it or give an evaluation of it, and it's not like you're necessarily giving the person the answer, but you draw out the answer that's there, that's within them, and that's something that I really appreciated from our conversations, because everything we need, we already have. It's already there, but sometimes we just need, I always like to say, we need somebody to come in and flip the light on so that we can see it. So speaking of being able to see it, one thing that we talk about a lot, and because as you go through your day-to-day life, you're constantly making decisions. You're being a certain way. And when you're at work, you may be acting a certain way and making certain decisions. Or when you're at home with your family, you're a certain way and you're making decisions. And so, what is it to be truly authentic? Everybody says, just be authentically you. Just keep it real. Just real. What exactly does that mean? And then how can people, how can we be real and still function in society and get the results that we're looking for?
And I think what I think of when people say be real or be authentically you or whatever, what's the benefit of doing that? Okay, so I'm going to be real. What does that mean? I believe it means to be in this state of vulnerability, to just be open and show your true feelings. And what's the benefit of that? Then what I learned, from my coaching background is we have a social self and an essential self. The social self is who we present to the world, the pretty one, the smart one, all these different labels and facades that we present. And our essential self is just who we are, the core of us, just who we are at the core of us. That's just dying to come out, but we're using all this energy to be all these different faces,
And I
to
think
be
the
accepted.
essential self probably a lot of times gets hidden, and a
Mhm.
lot of times gets masked under so many layers of, it could be circumstances that happened, or, conditioning growing up, that just started to mask who you really are, or who that essential self is. Because I know I struggle with that, a lot,
Me
and
too.
especially, even though my career has been, very much like in the public eye, and, putting in, but it was about like putting on this front, because I didn't want people to see the real me, or, what I perceive to be my deficiencies or faults. So I think a lot of times that essential self, you're right, it is screaming to come out, and it will try to come out, even if it's like in acting out.
Let me out. I want to come out. I'm here. I want to live.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, is that the life struggle, is like, finally pulling back all those layers, unlearning, a lot of things, and, finally letting that true essence of who you are present itself to the world and just be.
And I also think that we live this social self life with all these labels that we attach. Well, I'll speak for me, is because it's this thing of being rejected. If I can just be who people want me to be, then I won't be rejected.
Right.
Then I'll be accepted, because I think we all want to matter, regardless of how tough and hard you think you are, or whatever. To me, those are the social selves that we represent, the hard one too, but at the core, I really believe is this just this essential true self that wants to come out, which allows us to live life freely. That's the payoff, that you get to live life in a way that's joyful.
Right. That whole piece about like wanting approval, or, wanting people to say, yes, you're good enough, or say, yes, you're okay. I think that's huge. And it can have such a profound effect on your life.
Yes, yes.
And it was, for me, there was a turning point, because I literally would wake up with the thought of like, what do people think? And that was my primary question that ran through my head all the time, was, what do people think? So I was always trying to adjust myself to, like be, the perfect child, or, be the perfect employee, or be, the perfect, spokesperson, or be the perfect, friend. But even though some of the things that I would bend myself to do, or bend myself, it wasn't really in line with who I was, or it didn't feel authentic for me. But it was kind of like, but if I do it this way, and you're happy with me, and I get your approval, then okay, like that's all I need. But then there's like, you have this constant search for, you need more approval, and so you'll constantly keep bending,
Yeah.
And it wasn't until there was a one quote that kind of, just totally shifted the perspective, and shifted the way I thought about that whole piece. And it was, you are approved simply because you exist.
That's right.
It
And
was like, that was huge. It's like, you
mhm.
are approved because you exist. Like, if you weren't here, then the fact that you are here says that you have all the approval that you need. Like, there's no person that you need to try to get their approval from, even though we search that out from our fathers, or our parents, or all of that stuff. And sometimes we won't get that, or get what it is that we need. But if you can realize that you already have it, like, you already have it. You when you came into this existence, you had that approval already.
Yeah.
And
what comes to mind hearing you talk about that also is, you're not living that way if you're feeling stressed about what you're doing. You're not living this essential life of freedom and joy. You're feeling a little bit of stress where you are, like something's wrong, and sometimes you don't know what it is, but we don't always take time to really review or dig a little deeper to really acknowledge these things that's going on within us.
You're not lying. You know, the thing I
And
hate
then,
is like when people say, this is just how I am.
mhm. Yeah.
It's how you were conditioned. It's how you were, chose to be. It's not necessarily who you are. And as you were, going on to say, those things can be changed. Like those things.
Yeah. And then I think about people I've seen on TV, or people that really come out and say, I'm not perfect, or yeah, I had a child when I was 14. I think Oprah came out and said that, but it seems like this freedom comes with coming out and saying, this is essentially who I am, flaws and all. This is what I've done, but it's freedom that comes with that, where you're able to review the lessons that come from that, and even sharing that could help someone else.
Absolutely.
And
And
we
that's
don't
what we
always value that.
learn most from is not just the glory stories or whatever,
Right.
or just like when you show me all of the great things that have happened in life, but when you show me the pit, when you show me where you have fallen short too, because it's like, okay, then wow, I'm not the only one, and so if you were able to come out of whatever that circumstance was and be able to now make it to the level of success that you're at, then okay, there's hope for me. It's like,
And they're human. You can
exactly.
see the humanity in the person too, that, oh, that person wasn't perfect, or they're not perfect, but by all means, they can travel a journey where they can grow into whatever it is they want to be, because it's already in you, really. It's already there. It's already there, and we're learning as we go. But just going back to the original topic we were talking about, is the essential self that you brought up in the beginning, and being true to yourself. I still have to say this again. The benefit of that is just living life fully, without burdens, without having to use all this energy of holding up all these different faces and juggling all that. Imagine walking through life that way. Oh my goodness. Your journey would be so much lighter. And that's what I'm learning for me, that I don't have it all right, but I'm learning. I'm learning that the more I'm true to myself and I can share that, the lighter my journey is, and more joyful.
I'll never forget, because for years I would never, go out and I would try my darndest to ever be like photographed, like without makeup on. And, it was kind of like you had to be, like dressed to the nine, makeup on, like all of that good stuff before going out and being presented to the public. And I remember, actually, I was in the process of writing my book, and was like kind of just emotional roller coaster up and down and stuff like that. And one of the things that kept coming to my mind is asking you shall receive, asking you shall receive. And so I finally, I pick up the phone, and no, it was a Facebook message. I sent, like, I was in this private group. I put this Facebook message out there saying, hey, I'm kind of, having these emotional up and downs. And those are things that I would never share with people, like that level of vulnerability and being real, because it was like, I always wanted this strong front of, I got it together, everything is good. And, you never showed people that softer side, or showed people the more, vulnerable side where, hey, I need some,
human side.
Exactly. It was like, even that, and I won't even say it's just being a woman, because even, men have that as well. But it was like, when I put that information, I put that message out there, the outpouring of like love, the outpouring. And matter of fact, I gotten onto a phone with a friend of mine, and she was like, we talked, we cried, we laughed, we, were able to like really connect on that human level, on just being real.
Aren't those the best?
Oh my God. And it was so like uplifting, for me. And matter of fact, she was like, right now you need to like do a video and like just share your story, like share what you're experiencing. I was like, girl, please. I was like, I don't have no makeup on. I was crying. I was like, my eyes are all puffed. I was like, my hair was like tied up. I was like, I look like a boy. I was not doing it.
Keeping it real. Huh?
Real. I was like, I'm about to keep it real. I ain't doing that. And I tell you, what came to my mind was Tony Robbins, who we had done a lot of coaching and stuff with. And he used to always say, if you can't, you must. If there's anything that you feel like, okay, I can't do that, or that's too big, or that's too hard, or whatever, if you can't, if you feel like you can't, then you must, because that has control over you.
I like that.
You get control over it, it's going to rule your life. So I was like, it kept going back and forth in my mind. I was like, oh, all right, I got to do it. So I sit there, I videotaped it, and I was like, but I ain't going to send that. Like, I ain't sending that.
But I bet people appreciate that so much. Just seeing the real you.
Yes.
Sharing that. Somebody needs to see that.
On that video. And it was just within that private, Facebook group. And the outpouring of love. I mean, where people were like, I am so glad that you had the courage to say what you said and do what you did, because I didn't have the courage until I saw it, through you. Or like people who share similar experiences. And even one who's like, I've never seen you more beautiful. And see, I thought without all that stuff, I was ugly. Like I didn't, I wasn't beautiful. So it was just like,
that mask.
Exactly. Like pulling
holding up. That takes energy too, to hold all these different masks.
Energy, like that takes so much. I was late for this doggone recording because I put no makeup.
Oh my goodness. Is our time up, young lady?
Oh my God, yeah, because we
I know.
Gina and I can go on and on and on and
on.
If you have gotten to this point in this video, then we so appreciate you, taking time.
Yes.
To interact with us, definitely. And we want to keep these, as short as possible and
yes.
as much valuable and realness as possible. And we would love for you to, share your thoughts with us. So please comment below. Like I said, if you have any questions or things that, you want to be able to, have us discuss, or, eventually we'll even like get some more people on and, have those conversations with them as well. But we really, really do appreciate you. And then maybe you can give them the email address if they want to write in.
That would be great. Yeah, we would love to hear from you. We so enjoy doing this.
What's the email address? I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
What is it?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, ReThink Uncut.
Okay.
At gmail.com.
Man, that's it. ReThinkUncut at gmail.com. So if you want to just message us directly.
I know, I'm thinking you're playing. I'm like, oh, she's there.
Just don't tell them this email address.
And I hope you heard something. I hope while listening to this, it was something that inspired you, because that's what we hope to do too, to inspire you to live a joyful life, really.
Amen.
Yeah.
Authentically
Yeah.
you. So thanks so much
Thank
and
you.
for tuning in to Rethink Uncut. I'm Havilah Malone.
And I'm Regina Carver.
And we will see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.